Welcome to This Week at Four Horsemen, where it is the year 3955. I am an astronaut who's just come out of a deep sleep. Watch as I try to communicate with this ape. Taylor! Nova!
No.
Okay. Seem to have some monkeys in the studio this evening. All right. It sounds
Easy
like
monkeys.
It sounds like the crew has put them down.
Yeah.
No actual monkeys were harmed in the filming of this episode of This Week at Four Horsemen. So what is This Week at Four Horsemen?
Apparently it's about monkeys.
Apes.
Apes. What kind of apes?
Gorillas, chimpanzees, and orangutans typically.
The right answer would be damn dirty apes.
I already said that.
Can we say damn dirty apes?
Yeah, we've said it 3 times so far.
What's the FCC? You're fine.
We're
fine?
good?
All right.
Fine. Damn dirty apes count? 4.
That's 3. 4.
4. Yeah, 4. Okay. So, what is This Week at Four Horsemen?
This Week of Four Horsemen is our way to kind of let you guys know what's going on here in the shop, what's going on in the area, what happened last week, what's coming up this week.
And this week, there's a movie that I am personally very excited about. War for the Planet of the Apes. Yep. We're going to give away 2 free tickets to the first showing this Thursday at the AMC Theaters in Morgantown, West Virginia. And all you have to do to win is upload a picture of your favorite ape from the original movie. It could be Zira, could be Cornelius, Dr. Zaius.
Could be me.
I don't think you were in that. I know you were in that Batman movie, which you mentioned constantly.
I am. I was in Batman.
But I'm pretty sure you weren't in Planet of the Apes. Anyways, upload it to any social media you like and tag us. The first one to do it wins 2 free tickets. Yep. All right, let's move on. New comics. Speaking of damn dirty apes.
Yes.
5. War for the Planet of the Apes is having a prequel comic. The first issue comes out tomorrow. It is a 4-issue run, and issue number 1 is going to be available tomorrow when we open. Yeah,
like 12 hours.
And that cover art is gorgeous.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
you're nice.
You'll have to look at a bigger version of it later. Ron just sees this tiny little
postage stamp size.
It's very pretty. And then speaking of other comics that may be related to movies that are currently in theaters, Spider-Man 2, number 1.
Spider-Men 2.
Spider-Man 2. My bad. So it's Spider-Man 2, number 1. It's not confusing at all. This is a part of a 5-issue run that's been building for literal years. This is the first time where Peter and Miles actually meet.
Ooh, that would be really good.
Yeah, it should be really good. And as any comic book collector knows, that a Spider-Man number 1 is probably the number 1 thing you should buy.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep.
So those will be available tomorrow.
Yep. Also, we have, it seems like a weekly segment on the show, is the new Star Wars books. Dun, dun, dun. We've got Darth Vader number 3 and a Dr. Aphra number 9.
Dr. Aphra, she's climbing up the charts.
She is.
She's pretty awesome.
Yep.
I think her cool factor would go down about 2 points if she didn't have goggles on her head.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. That's just, maybe that's something from my generation, but goggles on head just means cool.
Yeah, it's probably it.
Four Horsemen versus series. Last week, Wonder Woman beat Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z by, it was like 3 or 4 votes.
I can see that.
She's a
close. She's a god.
She's a demigod.
Demigod.
It's the difference.
Yeah.
You were about half right.
Just demi right?
Demi right. This week, we have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Doctor Strange. And
you know my thoughts on Doctor Strange.
I love the boys.
Yeah.
They're my boys.
Yep.
Been with them since I was this tall.
Yep.
They cannot win this fight.
They don't stand a chance.
But they made it to round 3. Like they beat Lex Luthor and I forget who they beat somebody else, but
they ain't gonna make it. They're
not gonna beat Doctor
No.
Strange.
No.
Moving on.
Next.
A brief overview of our weekly events that we hold every week here at Horsemen Comics and Gaming. If you'd like any more information on these events, please go to our Facebook page and click on the Events tab.
Yep. So Wednesday to kick it off, we do have our D&D encounters at 6. If you're new to D&D, that's a great place to start.
Yep, and we do have Proxy Legacy with decks available to loan at 6:30 and HeroClix at 6:45 the same night.
Yep. Thursday we have Commander Night from 5 to close, and we have X-Wing Thursday Night Flights from 6 to close.
Yep, and then on Friday We have a draft at 6:30. That's Hour of Devastation. And then Modern at 6:30, which you can watch on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube.
Would that be from 6 to 7? That's the Hour of Devastation. Also, Friday Night Pokemon at 6:30, and you can watch that on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. No?
No. All right. On Saturday, we have the Pokemon League at 12. And then on Sunday, we have Dice Masters at 2, which you can also watch on all of our streaming channels.
Yep. Also, this FNM coming up. Upcoming FNM.
Yes.
On the 21st at 6, we're going to have a Chaos Draft.
Yes, we're going to be trying some different things. So next week, our 6 o'clock FNM will be a Chaos Draft. Do you know what a Chaos Draft is?
I absolutely have no idea.
You really don't?
I kind of have an idea.
So it's where you take a bunch of different booster packs,
right,
put them in a bag. A bag you cannot see into, and then have players reach in and pick 3 as their draft packs. Any packs. So they could reach in and they could pull out Hour of Devastation, Born of the Gods, Modern Masters, and then you draft with those packs.
All right. Cool.
So we're gonna do that next week, and then the following Friday, on Friday the 28th at 6 o'clock, our FNM will be Pauper. Yep. And what is Pauper?
Pauper is when your decks are under a certain dollar value. Like all the cards are
kind of. They are all commons.
All commons.
No uncommons, no rares, no mythic rares, only
nice.
Commons.
So you just got to be real good at deck building.
Real good at deck building. Yep. It is a very wide open format.
Yep.
What do you think Vases on Stun means, Ron?
It is. It's off.
No, it's not off. All right, moving on. Hour of Devastation, the newest Magic the Gathering expansion, releases this Friday.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is available for sale at 10 a.m. when we open. Be sure to line up.
Friday morning. Yep. Big set.
Line's probably not necessary, but it's real cool because there's a Dargon.
You know, I actually read one of the papers from the pre-release that we had this past weekend. I don't know if you know this. Nicobola's kind of a jerk.
Yeah,
he's kind of a jerk.
Yeah, he kills a whole lot of people.
Like a whole plane of existence.
Like actual factual genocide.
He's yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's not even genocide at that point. It's more like planicide.
It's like planicide. Yeah. It's not good.
We should probably move away from this. This Saturday we have a very special Magic event. We're having a Team Unified Modern Tournament.
Now, what is a Team Unified? I know what a team event is.
So before we get into the bones of it, it is Saturday at noon.
Right.
It's $25 per player or $75 per team because you do play in teams of 3.
Okay.
So we've done team events before. That's 3v3, where you have an A player, a B player, and a C player, and the A player plays the A player of the team they're matched up against, and so on. Unified Modern means that you play Modern, but among your 3 team members, only 4 copies of a particular card can be registered.
Oh, okay.
Aside from basic lands.
Okay.
So if I'm playing with 4 lightning bolts,
I can have 0.
You can have 0.
Huh.
If you have 2, then I can have 0, 1, or 2.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting. That's this Saturday, and we have a side event, right?
We do. Hour of Devastation draft side event at 5 p.m. The entry is going to be
$15. Unless you played in the Modern Team event, then it's only $10.
Just $10.
Yes, and then we also have our Ashes monthly tournament.
Saturday at 2 p.m.
Yep, it's $5 to play. We don't have a lot of Ashes events, so if you're a player, make sure to come down, make the time, talk to some other people who play the game, try to get more of a community going.
Yep.
And then we have another tournament on Sunday, right?
We do. We have our friend Tyler's putting on an X-Wing tournament this Sunday at noon. The cost is $5 to get in. He's a good guy.
I love Tyler. Then also on Sunday
we have Dice Masters.
Mm-hmm. And a note on this week's event: it is a sidekick event, meaning it's free to play. It's being advertised as a learn to play event where you can bring a friend. Our tournament organizer, Truby, will have teams here to loan out to new players, so they don't have to spend money on entry fee. They don't have to spend money on cards or dice.
Just show up and play.
Show up and learn to play.
Yep,
and they're very welcoming community. It's a great game to learn.
Yep. So, you were out last week.
I was out last week.
Did you get to see anything good while you were out?
Spider-Man! My God! Did you see that movie?
It was really good.
It was amazing.
It was great.
It might be my favorite Spider-Man movie.
Was it really amazing?
It was amazing. Well, actually, the previous 2 were amazing. I want to say
Alex
this one,
ladies and gentlemen.
I want to say this one was spectacular, but it wasn't,
Even
spectacular.
spectacular.
I want to say it was ultimate, but it wasn't ultimate.
No.
It was just like its own thing. But no, I thought it was really fantastic.
For
No.
him?
Uh,
It was great.
yeah.
I enjoyed it greatly.
I want to say it was my favorite Spider-Man movie, but I think I need to see it a couple more times
Yeah.
because I rate Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 pretty highly on my personal list of superhero movies.
What about the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man?
Those
Spider-Mans.
Those are the Tobey Maguire.
Oh, okay.
Spider-Mans.
Not the Amazing Spider-Man.
That's I would have
Okay.
said Amazing Spider-Man. If
There is a difference.
I do love those as well. I love all of them except for Spider-Man 3.
Yep. Emo Spider-Man. Please don't dance.
Nothing wrong. If he wants to dance on the table, he can dance on the table. So are you excited for Planet of the Apes?
Planet of the Apes. I have always loved Planet of the Apes. I think the when they redid them, it was great, and they keep getting better every single.
Aside from the Tim Burton one, yeah.
Oh, it's Tim Burton though.
No. That all that means is that I like Tim Burton too, like on his peaks. Like he has very high peaks, he has very, very low valleys. And Planet of the Apes is about as low as it it's very visually I love that movie.
Oh yeah.
But
And I'm impressed with the effects.
yeah. But I have like the past two reboots. I'm very excited for this movie.
Yeah.
I've been a huge Planet of the Apes fan since I was like, maybe even before Star Wars. I think my parents showed me Planet of the Apes before they showed me Star Wars.
Yeah, and I was impressed like with the original ones back in the 60s or 70s, whenever those came out. That those look good, but the effects in this one, they look like they are just
they're scary. The previous one, the most recent one with Woody Harrelson, that one there were parts that legitimately scared me because I thought that there was a real gorilla that was going to hurt you. The gorilla's going to hurt me.
Love it.
Scary. So I'm going to be seeing that Thursday night.
Yep.
Super excited. All right, Horseman of the Week.
Horseman of the Week. Who we got?
All right, Horseman of the Week on 3. 1, 2, 3. Our Horseman of the Week this week is Joan Lee. Stan Lee, this store would not be in business right now if not for Stan Lee.
Absolutely.
That's a fact.
And that's probably true for a lot of stores.
For a lot of stores. And we just wanted to shout the two of them out because losing a spouse that you've had for decades.
Yeah.
I couldn't even.
Crushing.
It's
got to be crushing.
I've been with mine for almost 12 years in November, and so multiple decades. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, the old saying is, "Behind every successful man is an amazed mother-in-law," but I think it's, something with the wife too.
Yeah. So, needless to say, this store would probably not be standing if not for her either.
True.
Yes.
This is true.
Joan Lee is our Horseman of the Week, and sympathies to Stan and the rest of the family. Yeah, of course. All right. Moving on to the
mailbag.
4 Horsemen mailbag. Got a question from Josh, who actually did not use technology to submit this question.
What?
He came up to me and spoke to me in person.
Ew, are you okay?
How dare he? I know, right? Is there any character in all of nerddom that you initially hated, detested, and then they grew to be one of your favorite characters?
Yes, actually,
there
was.
Go ahead first.
John Constantine. If anybody knows me, they know I love him now. But early on, I did not like that character even a little bit.
You're talking about the comic books.
The Hellboy, the Hellboy before the Keanu Reeves and all that stuff. Yeah.
No comment.
No, just let that one go.
Okay.
It was a good movie too.
Why did you hate him?
I don't know. He did nothing for me. I didn't think that he was believable. I just didn't like that character.
And now why do you love him?
Because he is an absolute. Gotta say badass. Yeah, you can say badass. He's a badass.
Badass count is 4. 5.
Is that 5? We're up to 5 now. 6.
6. Badass count is 6. I mean,
that's 7. We need like a little counter in the bottom corner.
We could do that. That's easy enough to do. Alex can do that. We can make him do that.
Alex got this.
For me.
Yeah. What's yours?
And this is hard because when this movie came out, I hated this character, loathed this character, and now she's not my favorite Star Wars character, but she's close to the top. She's up there.
Who?
Ahsoka Tano.
Really? How did you not like Ahsoka? that face was amazing.
Every time she said R2-y,
Yeah.
I wanted to jump. I wanted to throw my shoe at the TV. It's like, his name is R2D2.
You can short it to R2, just not R2.
I guess when that movie, I was like 18 or 19 when that movie came out, and had it in my head that she represented the franchise moving in a direction that I didn't like.
Scary direction.
Yeah. But then the series turned out to be amazing, and she turned out to be like the female character that Star Wars never had. Cause Leia's amazing.
Yeah.
But there's no like growth from like child to woman.
Yep.
In Leia.
Yeah.
There's growth from like woman to
general.
Yeah. But you don't get to see her as an inexperienced, immature kid and then blossom into I'm gonna fight Darth Vader.
Right.
So
Nothing like that.
Ahsoka Tano.
Good job, Ahsoka.
Good job, Ahsoka.
So Telltale Tuesday, I understand you're wimping out not doing it tonight.
You're wimping out.
Tell him he's not gonna do it.
Where's the controllers? I'll start it up right now. Let's go.
God.
Come on. All right.
What have I done?
Let's go.
There'll be no Telltale Tuesday tonight for indeterminate reasons. We're not sure why. Next week, 2 episodes back to back.
We're gonna finish.
It'll
Big
be like
B.
an 8-hour long episode.
Yeah, it'll be a big B night.
It'll be a big B night.
Big B
It's
night.
gonna be great.
We got a sale this week.
We do have a sale. It's kind of an amazing sale.
Yeah. So on Friday, are we gonna throughout the weekend?
Sure. Why not?
All right. So from Friday to Sunday, Hour of Devastation booster packs are $3.
$3.
$3.
That's a massive sale.
No limits, aside from what we need to keep for events.
Yep. Do we need to be an event?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're participating in an event, any event, doesn't matter what it is, if it's a
or have participated in an event.
Yep. Any event during the weekend,
Mm-hmm.
booster packs $3 a pop.
$3.
Come get them while we got them.
Hour of Devastation. They got the Nicol Bolas and the Shinies and the full arts and the Locust God that creeps me out. Have you seen a picture of that?
I haven't seen that one yet.
So there's these gods that have insects as heads, and I don't mean like they have insect heads. I mean they have full-bodied insects as heads.
Like the big beetle things from Dark Crystal. Those things. Remember those big beetles?
You know, I told you not to talk about that movie. I know they're
Love those things.
What was the lady's name who had one eye?
Agra.
Agra. I feel dirty. I want to take a shower.
Pulls her eye out.
I saw the trailer for the prequel yesterday that's coming to Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's going to be great.
I don't know if I can watch that.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be something.
Yep. Is that it?
Yeah, I need to go
Stick
take a shower.
fork in.
Done.
So.
All right. Are we paranoid?
Or are you just following us?
If you're not, you should.
You ought to be.
And to do that, go to facebook.com/4horsemencomics. Follow us on Instagram at 4horsemencomics. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/c/4horsemencomicsgaming. Follow us on Twitter at @4horsemencomics. And watch all of our streaming content at twitch.tv/4horsemencomics.
That's all we got. Are we finishing with a song? We didn't rehearse the song.
We finished with the song last week.
We did?
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was Spider Pig. So what do you want to do this week? Like
Okay.
DuckTales or something?
Oh, we could do DuckTales. Wait, did we do DuckTales?
What?
I think we did DuckTales.
No, we haven't done DuckTales. Well, even if we did, we could do it again. Life is like a hurricane.
All I know is
here in
Duckburg.
Duckburg.
Duckville.
Cut!
Cut.
Cut!
Duckburg. Duckville.
Duckburg!